Social Hub is part of a product suite that includes Radian6 and now Buddy Media. They're all called Marketing Cloud, and you can buy a license just for Marketing Cloud, just for those products which don't include CRM, to do this kind of stuff.
There are also other, this is quite expensive. It's very good, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
There are other less expensive things, and you know, unless you're a gigantic company, you're not going to need it. You should have some kind of listening tool, but there are others that are, you know, less sophisticated and less expensive.
Yeah, and that's from Salesforce.
Salesforce, correct. Okay, so we use Salesforce Marketing Cloud to analyze, our team does, to analyze a lot of this data. Other parts of the company, other parts of our own department use other tools to do other things with social media data. Includes both analyzing and publishing. But one of the other things, kind of a tool that we developed on top of that is the creation of what's called the Social Media Listening Center. At least that's what we called it. We actually have two of these. One in our building, my building, and we have a new one that I'll show you a little bit later that's in our Executive Briefing Center. We kind of made a big splash about it, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But Social Media Listening Center, the idea is to visualize some of this data, right? To give us, our team, our department, or even executives a quick snapshot of what's going on, bless you, in some space of social media with regard to Cisco. It could also be with regard to competitors as well. But it's a nice way to look at something and have a clue as to who our influencers are. And I'll speak to each one of these screens individually. But who our influencers are, see where conversations around the world are taking place, what trending topics are within a certain category. This is all custom made for us, by us, working with a couple partners. And the information is all configured by us the way we want. And we can change these screens, we can change the information and have the same type of visualization. And we're also creating new visualizations as well. I'll give you another example later on. So this is all customizable, but we can switch it to focus on different sets of data. It's basically however we want to. So let me speak to these individually. Was there a question over here? No? Okay. So this one here is called the Social Media Influencers screen. This one is a way to visualize who our influencers are. In this case, it's a pretty simple definition. You can see at the top it says Cisco Brand 2012. It's a very broad scope of social media conversations. It's not specific to a product or WebEx or technology. It's very broad. Basically, anyone saying anything about Cisco, who are they, right? And who are they? And the way we define influencer is by those that have the most followers on Twitter. So we're showing like the top 30, I think it is. The idea behind this is it shows their profile pictures. This screen will randomly highlight and go through all the profile pictures and then show that profile's information on the right panel there, including their last post that says something about Cisco. It looks like they're mentioning our Cisco blog and something about the cloud.
So if you're a small company and you don't have this kind of a budget, you do what Gabrielle did on night 2. You get an intern, you sit down, and you're not going to have 6,000 hits a week. You're going to have something dramatically less. And you go through and you can pick out people the same way. So you don't have to have that, but it's the concept that I think is important.
Yeah. What's nice for us is that we can, being that we do have a lot of posts, we can find influencers for specific groups of technologies, right? Influencers that are just with regard to WebEx. We can see who the top analyst influencers are, for example. We're not that specific on this particular screen, but we can be if we want to. Okay, this screen here we call Global Conversations. This is trying to show where in the world people are talking about Cisco. In this particular case, all things Cisco, but again, we can be as specific or generic as we want. This is organized as a heat map. You can see the legend here. Gray color is no data. You go down to the deep dark red color, that's the highest concentration of data. And at the bottom, it'll stream the latest posts from around the world. So these will be kind of scrolling by. Also on the screen, we're not seeing an example here, but on the screen, random posts will pop up as well, and could be from anywhere around the world. We can actually isolate a certain region if we wanted to. We have these set up on a touch screen. I'll show you a picture of it. But on our touch screen, we can click on Australia, for example, and just see posts that originate from Australia.
Would you say that you're just English, or are you aggregating across most languages?
So primarily English on these visualizations. Right now, primarily English throughout our whole process. But we are, and we have already, for certain projects, listened in up to 10 languages. And I have an example in the slide, I hope I can get to it, but we can listen to, and the tools allow us to listen to different languages. It doesn't have to be English, but all we're looking at here is English. We do have, of course, we're around the world, so we have in marketing folks that speak other languages, and we work with those folks. We actually seek those folks out to help out with other languages. I myself help out with Spanish, a little Italian. We have other folks listening in Russian, and so forth. Oops, sorry, I didn't explain that one, did I? Hopefully I can go backwards here. Okay, so this is a word cloud, pretty simple. It's basically showing trending topics based on keywords, keywords that are used the most in a certain category of social conversations. This screen will actually scroll through each word, and then it'll show the posts on the right that include that word that's highlighted.